Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 12th of May, and you can see that we're still within this little week period. All we've done now is just gone down and tested the ABM, and that was just a settle back. So nothing too irregular with it. We almost reached the 13.5 for an actual short signal. We get to 13.36. It's still enough to be concerned that you're going to see a little bit more decay. So that happened yesterday, and sure enough, we're seeing it as we come back towards the lows. And there was the NASDAQ pull on it was a little bit deeper, and that's just because it's a little bit further outside the norm. And we talked about that as far as the other day. You can see that we're finally fading off on the shakeout, so an important reset for that. Critical. And also the break below the negative 13.5 at the same time we ended up with the NASDAQ short signal. All in all, been a very powerful move, and so there's going to be some consolidation, and no surprise with that. And the euro just flat at this particular time, developing a DOC spread, but had already created that short signal from back and forth. No change in that at this time. Bonds, a little bit of a recovery here. As we dip back below, we saw that we got into a little bit of an oversold with the buy signal. Nothing impressive, particularly with that orange caught in the middle range, but the full retreat from the shakeout to the negative now. It's got to turn itself around if there's going to be any rally in there. Just don't see any justification for one. But when has that stopped anything? So our super oversold, yeah, we talked about that. Setting up for a buy signal when that came in the other day, and the last couple of days we've had a little mini rally in there as OPEC has talked about getting serious this time, as though they have any control whatsoever on the availability. I mean, all you're going to do on their production reductions is cause the U.S. to ramp up, and so it's to me a non-starter. There's just no winning for them. They don't realize it yet, evidently. And gold. Tiny little pop off this extreme oversold that we had gotten into. Doesn't mean that we're going to get much out of it at this particular point. Could see a little more improvement if that orange continues to dip. It's been a nice pop back from the extreme being this far underneath the red line, but we're likely to revisit that low before we get too far ahead of the game. So here was, let me shrink this a little bit. It was a very nice intraday chart. Started off the previous day, as I mentioned in the video report, with the short signal and produced excellent, and then all of a sudden we got our reset at the ABM right at the bottom. I don't know that you can get much cleaner than that from a 5K chart. And then boom, we ended up with our buy going all the way up through. And then it was an interesting one as you started to develop little DOC spreads. The ones I like particularly when you get the crossover, and it happened back here, and then you get the steel crossing back below cyan along with the orange at the same time, and then I just look for the orange getting back above at this particular spot, and it's right about there. But you know, there are several places in between there you can short, or you can just wait for like a DOC spread like this where you get a strong cross with the green going below, and that this is a little bit less significant. Simply because the steel had reset, so there would have been a concern. But the fact that once you reach the plus 13.5, we've decayed from there. So that would have solidified it for you regardless if you didn't take the earlier one. So that's pretty clean. You can't really complain about that ride because it makes it nice and simple. Love all of it, and it's just a matter of waiting for some kind of improvement. I mean, I think that the market's got to settle a little bit, and there's been a lot of political turmoil, and so until that happens, I think we're just going to keep this little soft streak, and then we'll get into a nice clean buy configuration. You can see even from morning trade at this particular point, no new. You got the crossover that could give a little bit of support, but you're stuck here with that orange caught in the middle, so needs to break out to the bottom or even come back up above to get some action going. So that's where we're at to start this lovely Friday. As always though, trade well. Look for me on the Skype chat. Talk to you later.